Hello YouTubers, man, what is going on with you guys? Alright, so I just did a little blog going past the Sydney Harbour Bridge. Now I'm going to talk about you know, the honest truth about both bikes, you know, which one is better, you know, in terms of what, you know. Okay, so let me tell you about the Silver Wing first, because a bike that I have for a long time and I know it like the back of my hand. Okay, so the Silver Wing will go better around corners because it's slightly narrower than this bike, less bulky, and it's got smaller wheels, slightly smaller wheels, which means that you know, it's a bit more sporty, and it's got excellent power. Now the Silver Wing has a bit more room underneath the seat. It's got you know, even though this seat is long, the Honda Silver Wing seat is longer, and so it gives you a bit more room, you know, in your seat, in your under seat compartment. The pockets for the Silver Wing are a little bit more deeper than these ones, and on the Silver Wing on this side you got what do you call it? One of those things that you can plug in, you know, like a GPS, or you know, you can charge your mobile phone. You know, one of those things. I've just forgotten the name now. And the Silver Wing is a high quality bike like this one. So they're both high quality bikes. And yeah, this one just has a little bit more oomph, and will cater for taller riders a little bit better than the Silver Wing. But yeah, they're pretty much equal, you know. When you add up all the pros and cons, you know, I'll be happy to have this bike any day of the week, and you know, and the Silver Wing as well. I wouldn't say one is better than the other. I just think that they both cancel each other out. You know, I would just say that both are good bikes. You know, there's nothing in it. There really isn't. My only, how can I put it? My only concern would be if you're a tall rider over 6 foot, this is a better bike than the Silver Wing, because it's slightly bigger wheels and it's actually a little bit taller to ride. You know, it's got a higher center of gravity. But if you know, if you're about, say, 6 foot, you know, 5'7" to 6'3", the Honda Silver Wing is also a perfect bike that will cater for that range in height. You know. So yeah, there's just nothing in it, you know. I can't really say that this is better than the Silver Wing, and I can't say that the Silver Wing is better than this. They just both cancel each other out. So yeah, just get, you know, whatever bike you like in terms of styling. They're actually very similar in styling too, so yeah, you know, there's just nothing in it. It doesn't matter if this bike has slightly more oomph and it's got an extra 50cc, because you know, the Honda Silver Wing is pretty fast as well. The thing about the Silver Wing is that it's got that 3-stage throttle system to protect the engine from, you know, doing kind of like, you know, taking off with brute force. So in that regard, it's pretty good. This one doesn't have that, but it just takes off like a rocket. But yeah, you know, they're both the same, you know. Yeah, there's nothing in it, you know. So you know, my brother also has his Piaggio Executive 500, and it's a big bulky bike like the Burgman. You know, the Piaggio Executive 500 rides very similar to the Burgman. They're both tall, bulky bikes. The Piaggio Executive 500 is actually as wide as this, and it's got a lot of get up and go, you know. It's a single cylinder, it's not a twin cylinder, but when you take off, it just got that enormous BI power like this one, you know, like bang, you know. you just hit the throttle and it explodes, you know. So that's another good bike, you know. The Piaggio Executive 500, and it will suit taller riders as well. I think it rides on 16-inch front wheel and 15 at the back, so slightly bigger than the than this one, the Burgman. But yeah, all these Maxi Scooters, there's very little in them, you know. The Piaggio has got a lot of brute force. Yes, it might be doing 150 compared to the Suzuki Burgman, but you don't even feel it because it's such a powerful bike that, you know, anything over 400, like after that, it's, unless you're riding between 400 and I would say 650, 700, there's not much in it. You know, just a little bit, but not much. You know. So yeah, you know, okay, it might go 0 to 100 a little bit faster, but big deal, you know, it'll be a second or two, so, you know, it's not a big deal, you know. I wouldn't muck around or bother with power figures, you know. That's all a bit lame, a bit stupid, really. You want a Maxi scooter because you want to be able to get on the highway and be able to attain highway speeds, and any Maxi scooter over 400cc will do the trick just fine. And my brother also on his Piaggio 500 has enormous storage, more so than this Suzuki Burgman. So, you know, and it's big bulky bike. It weighs about the same as this one, even though it's a 500 because it's got an enormous bonnet. It's just, you know, yeah, it weighs the same, you know. I would say roughly around 240 kilos or something like that, you know, 250. So yeah, I really like the engine braking on this bike. Now I can say that I got a lot of experience riding different scooter brands. My first scooter was a Honda Lead 80cc. I also ridden the 100cc scooter, the Honda Lead. I also have a Piaggio 125. When my brother bought his Sim 200, I also ridden that quite a bit. I also got my Honda Silverwing 600. I've driven my brother's Piaggio Executive 500, and then this one, the Burgman 650. So in terms of power band, anywhere from 80 to 650, I have been there and experienced it.